I'm Eric, sitting here with Andrew Frazier, the author of Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what he's got inside the book, some of the initiatives that he's got going on, and how he got here and where he's going. Now, I read his book, and I don't think it falls short of, I think that every person that goes onto Shark Tank should read your book. Okay, because one of the things that you specifically talk about all the time is knowing your numbers, right? And so often these people go onto Shark Tank and then they'll say, all right, so how much revenue did you do? And sometimes now they're getting better and they're knowing their revenue. But then when it comes to their costs, how much does it cost per product or per service, they start breaking down. And in this book you cover that a lot. And we'll get into the book pretty soon. So I was reading your bio, and I know that at one point you were in the Navy for the and then you got a mechanical engineering degree from MIT.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about some of that, and tell me about how you got to where you are today?
Okay. Well, definitely it's evolution, like everybody's life.
Okay.
Moved from actually having my first business in 4th grade, doing a paper route for 5 years in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to studying engineering at MIT, which was great. Loved building things and creating and solving problems. But I actually had a business while I was there also. I had a t-shirt creative media business.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity to do a little bit more on that side. And then I received a Navy ROTC scholarship to MIT.
Okay,
so
got it.
It was great because they paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's always great.
But as part of it, I served as a U.S. Naval officer upon graduation.
Yeah.
So great experience. Got to see a lot of countries and a lot of places.
What was your favorite country that you saw?
Favorite country, Bermuda.
Bermuda. Okay.
Love Bermuda, but we went through Panama as well, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had the best job on the ship. I was the supply car officer, so I ran all the business functions. I paid everybody, ran the store, food service. So great experience on the business side as well, and that's one of the things that led me to follow a career path on the business side rather than the engineering side.
Okay.
Even though they're both about solving problems.
Okay. And so now you run, I guess it would necessarily be a consulting firm now, where you help business leaders grow their sales, grow their revenue, whatever it may be. How did you get started with that?
Okay, well, I have a wealth of experience, worked in corporate, ran nonprofits, and really looked at how can I bring everything that I know together to provide the most value for people.
Okay,
and there's such a need in the small business arena for good people, and good people who are holistic, who understand marketing, finance, sales, technology, operations, and really bringing all that together in one person who can sort of advise them as a management consultant, coach, trainer, which has been what I've done. A lot of it's been focused around outsourced CFO and helping people get financing because definitely helping them get their numbers together and get their business running better.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to jump into the book real quick, and I bookmarked this story about Brianna Evans, one of your clients from SpeechQuest, right? And you're talking about, one of her signs of improvements was that she only wanted to quit every week or so. And in this book, I think what was great is that you are very realistic about the fact that when you're running your own small business, you're going to want to quit. You're just going to want to quit. So what is one of the keys or a couple of the keys to motivating some of your clients to not want to quit and to keep going? What do you think it helps them get that motivation?
Okay, well, in anything, it's challenging. In small business, I find it's, you work harder and you make less money.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier to want to quit. So, the chapter that you're talking about is called, Can I Get My Old Job Back?
Yeah, and I love, so the chapter names I think are fantastic, because I'll just take the time so he calls one of them, Can I Get My Old Job Back? But then I'm just trying to find the table of contents, and it's like, how did I get here? What is my most important job? What is my greatest fear? Is it me or are my employees crazy? You came up with a lot of these good chapter titles that and then are thought-provoking too, like how will I ever retire? A lot of these people, they go into these small businesses and then they don't really have that end game of retirement in mind. But yes, let's go back to that question. So how do we make sure that business owners, when they're first starting out, that they're going to want to quit a lot. How do you keep them motivated to not quit?
Well, a few things.
Great.
One of the reasons why you want to quit is you sort of don't see the path,
Okay.
or you're getting lost, or you're getting stuck.
Yeah.
So a big piece of it is really encouragement, helping them understand what the next step is, where they're going. Being able to see the goal.
Yeah.
And really, I incorporate humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it fun, so it's not like you need to do this, you need to do that.
Yeah,
It's like, you might not want to do that because of this.
Yeah.
And, just really collaboratively. Because I can't tell you what to do with your business, but I can advise you and help you be smarter and have better information so you can make better decisions.
Yes.
And that's really what I do, and that's what business owners need. They know their business better than anyone else. They just need to understand how to make the best decisions moving forward.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong. What I see a lot of the times with small business owners is that they know how to do the operation of their business really well. So if they are running a dry cleaning company, they know how to dry clean, but they don't necessarily know how to run a business. Do you agree that you see that a lot?
All the time.
So what is one thing that if you're going to get into business, you need to know how to...
Okay. Well, actually, one of my clients in there said it best.
Okay.
She has a school. She said, you took me from being an educator who has a school to being a business person who runs a school.
Yeah.
So, as a business owner, you need to run your business, because if you don't run it, nobody else will.
Exactly.
And talk about, you need to create an enterprise.
Yeah.
Something that can grow, that you lead, but it can only happen if you lead it in the right way.
Got it.
And the key to doing that is understanding what your role is, what your job is, being able to educate yourself and continually learn, and understand what your most important job. I've got the chapter there. It's marketing and sales.
Yeah, and you said everyone should do that at least 2 hours every single day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So if you're a dry cleaner, you shouldn't be dry cleaning. You should be marketing and sales.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And I see that all the time where, they can't necessarily step away from. So one of the first small businesses I ever worked in is a gymnastics gym, and so Craig Zappa, fantastic mentor. Hi, Craig. He works a lot because he is the most knowledgeable coach in the gym. And it's tough for him to step away and do that sales and marketing stuff because he literally teaches every girl from 6 years old to 18 years old, from level 1 to elite. Like, he is all over the place. And so he's one of those guys that I would suggest, he's got to, right, when you suggest as well, he's got to take a step back and try to find somebody else to do those things for him.
Right. So
exactly.
Either he's got to decide what he wants to be.
Exactly.
He can work in the business
Yeah.
and hire someone else to run the business, or he can run the business and train other people to work in the business.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if he doesn't do either of these, he's not going to be able to grow.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, E&A Gymnastics is one of the largest gyms on the scene, but when it comes to their rec classes, they're all just trying to get more kids into those recreational programs, and that's one of the team is amazing. He's got that locked down, but the rec classes, they try to run through more and more kids, and that's one of their tough parts. So another thing that I have outlined here is, could you speak a little bit about, you must know your sales and costs. Do not delegate this. So that's two things, right? So you must know your sales and costs, but what I really want you to talk about is the part where you say, do not delegate this. What is the problem when a small business owner delegates their sales numbers and their costs to somebody else?
Well, one of the most important things is you can't run a good business if you don't make good decisions. And you can't make good decisions if you don't have good information. If you don't know what your sales are, how are you going to know how to improve?
Yeah.
How do you know if they're where they need to be? If you don't know your costs, how do you know whether you're making any money?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you reduce your costs?
Yeah.
And become more profitable? So a lot of business, I laid out the critical path that every business owner needs to take to become an enterprise.
Okay.
And the first step is, if it's you're starting out, you work in your business, because you have to develop a product, develop a market and a product that match. But if you don't pivot and change to working on your business, then your business will be stuck. And that's where 95% of businesses get stuck.
Yeah.
Because their owner never pivots to work on the business.
Yeah.
They say they want to, they understand, but most people don't even know what it means to work on your business.
Yeah.
But you can't work on your business without information about your business.
Exactly.
So
and I just want to relate it a little bit to working out in the gym. So when I train people in my gym, one of the side things that I do is I'm a trainer, and I will ask them, how much food do you eat in a day? What are you eating? And I tell people you need to be eating probably, for most people, I don't take diet advice right here, but for most people I recommend that they should eat 1 gram of protein for every pound of body fat that they weigh or what they want to weigh. So if you want to lose 10 pounds, you should deduct that down. And so unless they track it, I don't believe them that they say that they hit their number, because that's a tough goal. So for me, that's 190 grams of protein that I need to eat in a day. That's like 3 pounds of chicken or something like that. That's a lot of chicken. And so, but I don't eat just the chicken. But so what I really mean though is people would rather stay delusional about their product. I kind of blame it on other things. And it's because the market's bad. It's no. You need to get clear and precise about your numbers, right? And don't delegate it, because then if somebody else is taking care of it, you could just stay delusional in your own little happy land, and it's everybody else's fault that's not working, not yours, right? Kill some of that delusion. Absolutely. And then I also have marked out here now, I've seen you speak a lot. Some of the viewers have not seen you speak a lot. You speak a lot about financing. So, and in here you have pray for financing, but you don't mean getting on your hands and knees and praying. You mean PRAY. Prepare your business, research the types of financing. A for assemble, and Y is for yield. So, could you speak a little bit about this pray for financing model that you have?
Yes. No, I work with a lot of business owners, helping them with financing, but most businesses don't get financing because they're not prepared.
Yeah.
So, the first thing I do is help them prepare, both personally and professionally in the business. So, you got to get, that's the basics, because, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yeah.
And that's where most business owners are, just because they don't know. They've never had financing, or they've done it once, but they don't do it all the time. So
exactly, yeah.
Usually you have to get help or do some research. One's prepared, meaning, you got all your financials together. You understand your financials, because why would someone give you financing if you don't understand your finances or how your business makes money?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things out there.
Yeah.
But once you prepare the stuff, you also have to do research. There's so many different types of financing, types of lenders and investors. You have to find the right ones. You have to know what type of financing is best for your situation.
Yeah.
You need to know how to reach them and what they're going to expect. So research is key and one of the most important things.
Yeah.
From there, you assemble. Generally, there's certain things that anyone who's going to invest or lend to you is going to want.
Okay, yeah.
So why not put them all together before they ask you for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because many people apply for financing, but then never get all the documentation in.
Yeah.
So it can never be underwritten. And so working on putting all that stuff together first, what is more impressive than someone saying, I need these 5 things, and you email them to them that night. Mm-hmm. That shows that you're professional, you're serious, you know what you're supposed to do, and you have some credibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Y is for yield.
Yeah.
Anyone who's gotten a mortgage knows, it's terrible, because, they always ask you for more information. It never closes on time. It extends. Yielding is, you have to give into the process. You can't run the process because the process is out of your hands, but you have to provide what's needed and work with them as best as possible, because if you fight it, then that's only going to hurt you. Yeah,
absolutely. Those are some really great financing tips just from the beginning, because these bankers, they see a ton of applications every single day. And I was actually reading a book called Weapons of Math Destruction. And they're talking about how they know statistically that if you put into your loan application, pray, grace of God, I plan to, usually those applications aren't good applications, they're not gonna finance them. But if you're gonna be a good business leader, you're gonna follow the steps in this book, you're gonna be coming in and saying, here's my plan to pay it back, these are the steps I'm going to take, and give you concrete things that, when you're prepared and you have everything assembled, that can all come together. But otherwise, then it's, it just gets a lot tougher for these people. And then I love, now this is also perfect because now it's also January 2nd, we just had a new year.
Right.
You have in here chapter 9, step 1, assessment and envisioning. And so that has to do with envisioning where your business wants to be, right?
Yes.
And so there's so many ways. So setting a goal, you could just set a goal, right? But there's so many ways to set goals. How do you instruct your clients to set goals about their businesses? Is it purely financial? Is there, some kind of customer count? Or how do you help people envision their business end goal?
Okay, well, planning is key.
Yes.
And I always recommend that. But you can't put together a plan if you don't know where you're starting from.
Yeah.
So the first part is you have to do a clear assessment of where you are, and maybe you might need some outside help to really understand where you are.
Yeah.
But you also need to know your numbers. You need to know where your business is, and put together an assessment program looking at 8 areas of your business and figuring out what stage are you in. So
Okay.
Are you in stage 1 working on your business? Are you in stage 1 working in your business?
Oh, okay,
And showing what does that mean? What are you doing if you're working in your business? What does it look like? Stage 2, working on your business. So in each of those 8 areas of your business, what are you doing these things that would be working on developing your business? And then stage 3, working on the future of your business. What are you doing to develop the plan, strategy, and capacity to grow your business successfully? So those are the 3 steps to creating an enterprise.
Okay, yeah, great. And then that's how you help them envision for the greater future.
Looking where you are. But the key is it's got to be holistic and detailed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't say, I want to make 300,000 revenue.
What is that going to look like
Right.
when you make 300,000? Yeah.
You're going to say, okay, well, I made 100,000 this year. So, that means I got to grow by 200%. Okay.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to grow by 200%? Am I marketing more? Am I having new products?
Yeah.
Do I have new customers? So you have to picture how many employees do I need to do that?
Yeah.
Where am I going to be located? What are my marketing? Am I doing social media? What are my, detailed about every area of your business? So you really need a plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we probably should have started with this, but what motivated you to write this book? What was the idea that you said, all right, I'm going to go out and write a book?
Okay, well, it took me 5 years to write this book.
That was my next question too.
As an engineer, I'm not really a writer. So
yeah. Well, it's very well written. I was very impressed by your writing style, and then you have all these things like the review plates, the key learnings at the end of the chapters. I was very impressed. So don't get me wrong about that. But So how'd you?
Well, I've been working one-on-one with over 500 business owners over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And you really start seeing a lot of things. Like you said with the bankers, you can already see the challenges that many businesses have.
Yeah.
Really quick. So there's so many basic things that a business owner needs to know, but it's overwhelming. But there's key things that they need to know. So I tried to distill the key challenges that most have. And then I gave at least 2 examples per chapter of people I've worked with and how I've helped them overcome these challenges.
Got it, yeah.
So that you're a lot more knowledgeable about key areas of business, because nobody can know everything, and especially coming in, you usually don't know that much.
Yeah.
So this is a way to really build your knowledge in a lot of key areas very quickly.
Okay, yeah. And I love the name. So how'd you come up with the name, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro?
Okay, well, definitely, having worked in corporate and different environments, I've seen cutting edge businesses that, working for Fortune 1000, working for, top nonprofits, top other organizations, working for the military. You've seen how to run things professionally. And I've done it as a supervisor, I've done it as a manager, I've done it as an executive. So bringing that expertise to small business owners, because a lot of times they've only been an employee. So they got to learn how to be a supervisor. They got to learn how to be a manager. They got to learn how to be an executive for their business to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
So really laying out that path is critical so they can understand what they have to do, because your business can only go as far as you're actually prepared to take it.
Yeah.
And that's based on your knowledge, based on your learning, continual learning, and based on your ability to learn new skills and change how you approach your business and different levels.
Yeah, and I like how you spoke about continued learning, because that's what I wanted to jump into.
Mm-hmm.
You added a recommended reading section, and so in this recommended reading section, are these all books that you learned from?
Yes, all books that I've learned from. Not all on small business, because there's things you got to learn, outside of it. I mean,
absolutely.
On your wall, you've got the Dale Carnegie. That's one of the books that's in there, because if you're going to sell or you're going to build relationships, which are key to your business, you have to know that. That's like the best. It's classic.
Yeah. And did you know I'm a Dale Carnegie coach? So I'm
I just see the certificate. I thought you had
gone. Yes, that's my highest achievement award for my class. And then that's just the certificate of achievement, but then I was a course coach for that gold embroidered one. Mm-hmm. So I love that you said that. I'm going to send that over to the Dale Carnegie people that really like that. Yeah, that is like the Bible for human relationships. And what's so funny is now I'll read other human relationships development books, and it's just, this is just Dale Carnegie. You just change the words around a little bit, but, it really has stood the test of time because it is the book for that. And now I want to pivot a little bit to some of the things that you've got going on. So you and I were speaking about this Small Business Pro Growth Challenge. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, well, 2020 is my year to grow and help others grow.
Okay.
So that's my focus for the whole year.
Okay.
And kicking that off on January 12th, I'm having a launch party for the growth initiatives that we're rolling out. And one of the first ones that we're rolling out is a growth challenge, because a lot of business owners don't even think about growing. They're just trying to survive. But you can't make a successful business that's going to be sustainable if you don't grow. So, one, putting the emphasis on making people realize they have to grow.
Yeah.
Number two, making them decide what their growth goal is. How much do I plan to grow, and what do I need to do to achieve it? And number three, providing the incentive and resources. So if you're participating in the program, we're going to award $20,000 in cash plus services and prizes. So that's
wait, $20,000 in awards, services, and prizes.
$20,000 in cash.
In cash.
Plus award services.
Okay, I needed to make sure that got repeated. So that's a fantastic challenge. Okay,
right.
Great.
And it's national in scope.
Okay, great.
It's a full year program.
And you said there's two categories.
There's two categories.
Right, yeah.
So under $100,000,
$100,000 in revenue.
If you're under $100,000 in revenue for the previous year, that's one category, and then over $100,000 in revenue for the previous year is the second category. Mm-hmm. And each category we're going to have winners in who increased their dollar revenues by the most, but also who increased their percentage revenues.
Got it. Okay.
So in each of those, and then we're also going to have quarterly events where we award prizes and recognize businesses who did the best in the quarter, and then the main prizes will be for the full year.
Okay, great. That sounds awesome. And so we were also talking about Small Business Pro University. Is that one of the services that they'll be able to get a handle on in this program?
Right. Actually, on the 12th, I'm launching Small Business Pro University. It's an online university.
Okay, on January 12th, the launch.
12th.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to have classes and programs and activities that are interactive, multimedia, video, workbooks, images, and different groups to develop small business knowledge and learning. And one of the programs is our SB Pro growth plan. Mm-hmm. And everybody who's in the challenge is going to have access to the growth plan. So that's a plan, helps you plan out your growth and implement your growth strategies. So,
okay.
Not only are you going to be able to participate, develop your business, learn how to grow your business, and potentially win cash and service prizes.
Yeah.
So it's great. People love it. They're really excited. I think this is going to be tremendous.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tremendous as well. That and I can already just see the caption. Oh, this guy's giving away $20,000 for a business competition. Do you want it? Oh yeah, that by itself just builds a lot of stuff. And then we talked about that you have a business financing like a pro virtual summit coming up. Could you speak about when that is and what that'll be?
Yeah, March 17th.
Okay.
We're doing a virtual summit called Biz Financing Like a Pro. And really what we're doing is we're going through the Pray for Financing that we talked earlier.
Great.
And really having about 40 different speakers talking about all those topics, and a lot of them focused on the research. Because that's a key area, because not a lot of people understand the differences in financing. So we'll have an interview with venture capitalists, private equity, angel investors, different types of lenders.
Great, yeah.
So that you can hear straight up what they expect, what it looks like, what types of businesses they're looking for, so you can better understand what might be a good fit for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, so one of your other initiatives is your podcast, Running Your Business Like a Pro.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what your podcast is? Because obviously we're going to make this into one, but then what's going on in your world of podcasting? Okay,
actually similar to this, doing interviews.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is interviewing with small business owners and small business supporters. So talk to several of my clients about their experiences working, things that they've learned, how they've overcome and grown. As well as, so for example, several of the people that are in my book.
Okay,
they're going to come out. Their experiences.
Yeah.
We also have business supporters. So I have interviewing Dale Caldwell, who is, executive director of the Family Business Institute at Farley Dickinson University. So he works with hundreds of small family businesses, and we're going to talk about some of the challenges they face, some of the key things that can help them be more successful. So really it's about, it's called Run Your Business Like a Pro. And it's, just like the book, it's talking about how do you become more knowledgeable so you can make better decisions, so you can be more successful in business. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And now, then you've also got a new book that you're working on. And I hope it's not, going to be as long as this one. Well, not take you as long. I mean, the information was great. Yeah. I don't want it to, labor you as much. And it's called On Access to Capital. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, actually, my next book. Actually, I'm planning to release 2 books this year. So
great.
It's much easier to write the after the first one, and also I'm writing a book on each chapter in this first book.
Okay. Great.
So. This book is called Pray for Financing, Accessing Capital Like a Pro.
Great, yeah.
So we're going to launch that right before the summit.
Yeah.
And it's going to talk specifically in detail about, obtaining financing. And then we're going to have the summit. And then I'm going to do a national book tour. So we're going to go to about 20 cities throughout the country.
Okay.
And, really bring this message, because business owners need to understand this a lot better, because the numbers are terrible in terms of how many businesses get financing that seek financing. So I think we can move the needle on that just by, bringing this information and these resources to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And in reading your book, I was thinking about one of my mentors said, and I've kind of enveloped this vision that this guy said. His name is Anthony Delgado. And one day, do you know him?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. So one day he came to Rutgers Business School, and he was speaking to us about entrepreneurship and all these things. And he said, all the time, when I'm consulting with people, they'll say, I need these business cards, I need my pens, I need my flyers, and then he'll say, you need customers. Yeah. And that's really what you need. And so I was reading this book, I was getting a lot of that same kind of energy too, where you are saying that you're excited for these business owners, you really want them to get after that, but you also at the same time want them to be realistic. You want them to understand, okay, we're gonna have to talk about cash flow. There's gonna be things that you've never heard of before. This book holds your hand, puts you right through it, and gets them to understand going from just their operation to really their business, really like running it like a pro. And I recommend it for all small businesses. So a great job on the book, and thanks for coming in today.
Okay, great.
Yeah,